Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and I'm so sorry if I haven't posted in a while. I had a lot of exams, and the past few videos that I've posted were mostly made for Facebook. So yeah, I really had to not talk about, hey, welcome back guys, haven't posted in a while here on YouTube. Yeah, not I don't know if my parents know about this already. Well, if my parents are watching this video, this is on YouTube, by the way. I believe my parents doesn't know about this YouTube channel, but if they do, then hey, welcome. This is my world over here. You're seeing me in this YouTube channel. You're seeing videos. Yeah, videos. Some videos that you haven't seen in Facebook before. But anyways, we have some new banknotes. We'll be checking all of them. And as usual, when I get new banknotes, I always make a review video about them. So yeah, so I've got this Soviet 10 ruble note, this 50 Mexican peso note. I'll just do this. 50 Mexican peso note, this 5 New Zealand dollar note, this 5 Qatari Riyal banknote, and this 100 Zimbabwean dollars. Now, the three banknotes, this Mexican note, Qatari note, and Zimbabwean note, they were bought online in Shopee, which actually cost me 691 pesos, but I was like, hey, if the quality is good, then the price is reasonable. And I even got a freebie, which is this banknote, this Soviet 10 ruble banknote. And this New Zealand dollar note, or this New Zealand $5 note, I bought this from a money changer. So a funny story is that I wanted to buy an Australian $5 note first, because I wanted to replace my current $5 note, which was given to me back in New Year's Day of 2023 by my uncle. So the reason why I wanted to replace it is that the shiny stuff has disappeared. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, the shiny stuff over here, the security feature, is slowly disappearing. So yeah, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try to buy that, but then I realized I don't have my $5 note with me, so I can't really buy the replacement right now. So I tried to buy New Zealand dollar instead, and the cashier was like, oh, we only have $5, and I was like, yeah, I wanted a lower denomination, let me get that. So yeah, and I was looking at the security feature of this, the holographic stuff here, and I almost thought that it was starting to wear away as well, but I looked closer. I will just zoom that in, and it's actually just a small map of New Zealand. So I don't know if you can see that. It's on this 5 over here. It's this 5. It's actually this small map of New Zealand right there. So yeah, that's actually also in every New Zealand banknote, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to email Bank of New Zealand about this. I want to know if this is intentional or not, because that's really cool. I love that. So yeah. But anyways, let's get into these banknotes. Let's check out what's on them, and let's learn something new. Right. So this is a 10 ruble banknote from the Soviet Union. This was back in 1961, and I put this in this plastic thing because there was a tear over there, and I didn't want to tape it, so I just put this in the plastic thing. So the front of the banknote features Vladimir Lenin, who was the leader of the Soviet Union until I think Mikhail Gorbachev replaced him. And over here in the back we have 10 rubles in Russian and all the other languages within the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union consisted of countries today of Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. What else? I don't know if I'm missing more Stan countries. Let's go to Ukraine, Moldova, Georgia, Armenia, I guess Azerbaijan too, the Baltic states, Lithuania, Latvia, So yeah, basically within Eastern Europe, the Soviet Union was there. Then up next is this 50 peso note from Mexico. So uh, I've actually wanted to get this banknote for a very, very long time, and ever since I saw this banknote, I immediately fell in love with it, and I was like, hey, I'm going to get you someday. And I finally got it. I finally got this 50 Mexican peso note, and I believe the money I spent on it is worth it. So yeah, so I'm gonna read quite a handful of words here. Most of these words are indigenous Mexican names by the Nahuatl people, or Nahuatl people. I don't know how you pronounce the name. So if there's any indigenous Mexican watching this, I apologize in advance for butchering the pronunciations of your indigenous language. So yeah, so over here we have a fragment of the back of the monolith called Teocalli de la Guerra Sagrada, which shows an eagle perched on a nopal, which is, I think, a cactus plant, with the atl, so it's an ATL Tlatinori in its beak, or I'm guessing rattlesnake. In the background is a representation, over here, the background, of the city of Tenochtitlan, based on a part of Diego Rivera's mural. So I believe this right here is, I think, the coat of arms of Mexico, though it is flipped on the other side. Or maybe it was derived off of this, or it was inspired by this. But if there's any, again, Mexicans or indigenous Mexicans watching this, please correct me if it is inspired or derived from this. And over here in the back, we have an ecosystem of rivers and lakes represented with an axolotl and corn plant over here in Xochimilco in Mexico City, which is the cultural heritage of humanity. So this axolotl right here, this animal here, this sea creature, this is very famous, and I'm actually glad that it's such a creature, especially because it has an indigenous name. I'm glad that it is quite famous, and I believe it got famous because of Minecraft. And yeah, I play Minecraft. And now we go back to the New Zealand note. So we have a $5 note. So the front features Sir Edmund Hillary. He was a New Zealand mountaineer and a philanthropist too. And he was the first person to summit Mount Everest along with Tenzing Norgay, who was a Nepalese Indian. So a little bit of a fun fact. His face on the $5 notes his face were on the $5 notes since 1992, and he died in 2008. So like during the span of those few years, he actually signed a few $5 notes, and there's actually like some of it in auction in eBay, and it's actually pretty cool. And he was one of the few persons alive to be featured on the banknotes during that time. So yeah, and over here on his left is Mount Cook, or Aoraki, which is the highest point in New Zealand, or I think the highest mountain, or the highest mountain in New Zealand, or the highest mountain in New Zealand above sea level. And over here is a penguin, which is in fact too. This is the hoiho, or the yellow-eyed penguin. That's its indigenous name, hoiho. This is Maori. This is in Maori. And over here are Campbell Island daisies. And the scene you're seeing right now is of Campbell Island. And over here, these yellow things, those are Ross lilies. And this transparent window over here, that's a silver fern, which is a symbol of New Zealand, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it as well in some stuff related to New Zealand, like the library of Air New Zealand, which I absolutely love, by the way, especially the all black one. Now we go to the 5 Riyal banknote from Qatar. So the front of the banknote has, well, this is actually in every Qatari banknote. It has the door or the entrance to the Qatar State Mosque. And over here is the flag of Qatar, obviously, and the security feature right there is the Drema flower. And okay, I had a strange encounter with this. So you know how this is a hybrid banknote, right? The quality is good, the condition is good, I mean, but like there was a small cut over here, and the cut was literally like the line, like in the tactile line, within the tactile line, or like it's the same length as the tactile line. It's a perfect cut that's the same as the tactile line, and I was like, why would you do that? The banknote is in a perfect condition. Why would you do such a thing? So I had to tape it because I didn't really want to put it in the plastic sleeve. So yeah. And over here in the back we have a traditional desert scene comprising of Qatar's flora and fauna. The flora being the al-Kataf, which is this tree right there, I think, and you got an Arab horses, there's two, a camel, an oryxus, and a traditional hair tent over there, Buryut Hajar. And lastly, we have this $100 banknote from Zimbabwe. So this was back in the 2000s, so you can see it says here Harare 2007. So this was before the height of the hyperinflation, the famous $100 trillion note that Zimbabwe had. So yeah, this banknote features the Chiremba balancing rocks in Matopos National Park, which this rock specifically is called the money rock, because it's Chiremba balancing rocks isn't just this one, it's a bunch of actual balancing rocks, and this one is specifically called money rock. So I don't know if it's called money rock because it's been featured on Zimbabwean banknotes ever since 1981, or basically in the 1980s, or it's called money rock even before it was on banknotes. So I'd have to ask the Bank of Zimbabwe, Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. And over here in the back we have two scenes from two different parks or something. So over here are palm trees from the National Herbarium and Botanic Garden in Avundale in Harare. And over here is a conical tower inside the great enclosure at the ruins of Great Zimbabwe near Masvingo, or Fort Victoria, which I believe it's its old name. So there you have it. These are my new banknotes for this month, for actually the month of September. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new, and I hoped that you liked what you saw. And if I ever get, obviously, I'm gonna make a video about my new banknotes. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be posting frequently again, but guys, thank you once again for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye.